With glorious views of Lake Zurich, this luxury £2.3 million penthouse apartment makes an attractive residence befitting any international tycoon. But you might be surprised to learn it is in fact owned by the boss of the company a little closer to home, the Royal Mail. This is the lavish apartment where Rico Bach, 63, will remain living despite taking the helm of Britain's postal service based in London. The German-born business leader has been dubbed the Flying Postman over his decision not to relocate to the UK and instead commute 500 miles from Switzerland. Last Thursday, Royal Mail suffered one of the biggest pay revolts in UK corporate history when shareholders rejected his multi-million remuneration package. Mr. Bach's apartment is situated in an exclusive town near Zurich that is considered a hotspot for the business elite. Other residents are said to include the boss of Fiat and the president of global logistics company Kuhn Plus Nagel. Financially, it may also appeal to some of its fiscally savvy inhabitants as it is located in a region which has one of the lowest tax burdens in Switzerland. Property experts estimate Mr. Bach's extremely prime real estate is worth around 3 million Swiss francs, equal to around £2. 3 million. This is perhaps showcased by the Bentleys and Porsches that frequent the compound daily and his wealthy neighbors, including an award-winning photographer and the founder of a Swiss tax firm. Mr. Bach is also involved in local businesses, having become a board member of a nearby gym in which he has invested £230,000. Share this article. Though born in Hamburg, Mr. Bach is understood to have lived in Switzerland for more than a decade with his wife and 3 children, the youngest of whom still goes to school in Zurich. Metal shutters were drawn across the apartment, and no one was home at the weekend. Royal Mail announced 3 months ago that Mr. Bach, who was previously boss of the company's European subsidiary GLS, was to succeed Dame Moya Green as chief executive this summer. He was offered an annual pay deal worth up to £2.7 million if he hits bonus targets, on top of a controversial £6 million payment for changing his GLS contract. But at the company's annual meeting in Sheffield last Thursday, 70% of shareholders rejected Mr. Bach's remuneration package. Although he will remain legally domiciled in Switzerland, Mr. Bach will pay full tax on all his Royal Mail earnings, including any bonus payments. It comes months after workers accepted changes to their pensions to help save the company money. Last night, Cliff Waite, a director of individual shareholder group ShareSoc, said, "How will Royal Mail employees feel to see their chief executive swanning around in some glitzy penthouse pad in Switzerland, rather than slogging his guts out in the UK on behalf of them and all the other stakeholders in the business? It's surely a 24/7 job. You've got to be where the action is, where the head office is. Yes, you need to go around the world to visit sites and keep in touch with international customers. But this is principally a UK company. Most of the postmen are in the UK and most of the problems are in the UK." Speaking at the Royal Mail chairman Peter Long said the firm needed to pay that level of fixed remuneration to get a high-caliber person like Rico to be chief executive. Defending Mr. Bach's decision not to relocate to the UK, Mr. Long said, "Rico is totally committed. He's happy to be based in London as and when requested. His business residence is in London. He's here every week. Alan Tate, of the Communication Workers Union, whose members at Royal Mail earn an average £28,274, said there are going to be some difficult challenges for Rico in operating from Switzerland. Royal Mail said Mr. Back would use commercial flights and pay for them himself when traveling between Zurich and London. Swiss Post is our best in the world. Britons might hope Rico Back has learned a few tricks from his local postal service. Publicly owned Swiss Post, which is the country's second largest employer, is only marginally more expensive than its UK twin. But it has also been ranked as the best postal service in the world for 2 years running. The post has delivered once a day to Mr. Back's local area at around 10 a.m. from Monday to Saturday. Similar to the Royal Mail, though, it is not without its controversies, with its chief executive resigning last month over a £70 million fraud among one of its subsidiaries. In the UK, a stamp for a standard small envelope weighing 100 grams costs 58p to send second class and 67p to send first class. In Switzerland, the price is slightly higher at 65p and 77p. Hotel concierge Falk Reichenbach, who works near Mr. Back's Swiss residence, said the National Postal Service had a good reputation and was highly trusted. He told how he recently sent a hotel invoice to a customer in Iraq and used both DHL and Swiss Post to make sure it arrived. He said the envelope sent by DHL, which was collected in person, arrived 10 days later, whereas the one sent via a local Swiss Post depot arrived in 4 days and cost £11.50 less. Earlier this year, Switzerland came first out of 173 countries for its postal service for the second year running. The study by the Universal Postal Union rated the UK 9th.